Hey guys, Kate Purtle here. Welcome back to my channel. So a question that I get asked quite often is, how do I begin my weight loss journey? Now, it's pretty common that everyone thinks that in order to begin a weight loss journey, you have to entirely flip your life upside down and you have to go from being sedentary and having a pretty poor diet to being in the gym 6 days a week and suddenly being a bro science clean eater who eats chicken and broccoli out of a Tupperware container 6 times a day. So if there's any message that I ever want to spread, it's that weight loss need not be such a difficult, overwhelming, confusing process. Weight loss should not drive your life, it should just become a part of it. You should begin living a healthy lifestyle, and then as a result, weight loss just becomes part of your life. So that's why I wanted to record this video. My 5 tips to starting your weight loss journey. So tip 1, and probably the most important thing and something that you need to keep revisiting along your journey, is to define your why. Now, what I mean by that is, why do you want to commit to this journey? What is the reason that's going to get you up every morning, that's going to push you further than you've ever been pushed before? What is the reason that you want to commit to this new lifestyle? So for example, my why began as not wanting to be in the position I was in. I was 135 kilos, I didn't like myself, I didn't like my life, I was very unhappy, and essentially I was the worst version of me. I was living this super confident exterior, yet what was going on the inside was completely different, and I just really didn't like myself or my life. And I knew that I was capable of living a much better, happier, healthier existence, but I just hadn't committed yet. So my initial why was essentially running away from a really, really negative space. And the reason that I said that you need to keep revisiting this why is because as time goes on, you will begin to develop upon that why, and you will begin to actually change the reasoning behind your journey. So obviously now health and fitness is a part of my lifestyle. I go to the gym every day. I eat well because it nourishes me and it makes me feel really, really great, and by doing so I'm living the best version of me. Over time my why has changed, but when you first begin your journey, you need to actually take some time out with yourself and potentially a diary or a journal, and just start to document all of the ways that your weight impacts your life. And you'll start to realize that it's actually impacting you more than you think it is. It's impacting your relationships, it's impacting the way that you interact with people, it's impacting the way that you think about yourself, it's impacting your mentality, it's impacting upon your ability to see the positive in any given situation, it's impacting upon your entire life. And when you begin to realize that, and you make the recognition of that, then you can start to see that focusing on your health, although it might be hard to begin with, is a necessity. And that's the reasoning behind why you're going to commit to this journey and what's going to get you up every morning, and that's going to be your consistent driving force. So tip 1 to beginning your weight loss journey is to actually just get real with yourself and define your reasoning and your why. The second tip has to do with food and nutrition. So I'm sure you've all heard that saying that diet makes up 70% of a weight loss journey and exercise is 30%. Now there's some truth behind that, because weight loss is essentially just a balance between calories in versus calories out. And if you're eating more than you're burning, then you're going to put on weight. If you're burning more than you're eating, then you're going to lose weight. And so you need to place your body in a calorie deficit. But if you're just starting out on your weight loss journey, if you're just beginning, what I would advise you to do is to just document your food. And that could literally just be in an A4 booklet or in an Excel spreadsheet. Just start documenting for a week or 2 exactly what you eat throughout the day. Now I can guarantee you that you will actually start to realize that your eating is quite different to what you think that it is. So This is actually the first thing that I get my clients to do for a week or two, depending on where they're at. I get them to just document what it is that they eat across the day, because by 8 p.m, if you haven't written down throughout the day what you've eaten, you'll forget about that 10 a.m. chocolate bar or that 3 p.m. muesli bar or whatever it is, your Coke in the morning or Coca-Cola in the morning or whatever it is. By writing down the food that you're eating, not only are you taking responsibility for what it is that you're putting in your mouth, you'll also start to realize what it is that your diet actually consists of, because up until now you probably haven't really thought about it. You eat when you're hungry and you make choices without really much thought behind it. And also by doing so, you'll begin to be mindful about the choices that you're making, because you know that you have to document what it is that you're eating. As I said, I get my clients to do this exercise, and it's pretty common that by the end of the week they'll email me and say, Kate, I didn't realize that I ate this way, or you know, because I had to document my food, I would have normally reached for X, but instead I reached for Y because I was being mindful about the choices that I was making. So just by writing and documenting your food, you'll start to realize what it is that you're actually putting into your mouth on a day-to-day basis. Tip 3 is to just start moving. Like I said at the start, so many people think that in order to begin a weight loss journey, you have to jump into the gym 6 days a week. But if you're currently sedentary and you have quite a bit of weight to lose, the gym is one of the scariest places in the world. I know that because I used to feel the same. When I went to walk into a gym, I would have rathered flown to the moon and back 20 million times. I would have rather jump off a bridge than walk into a gym, because the one reason that I should have been in there was the one reason that I felt I shouldn't have been in there, and I felt different. I didn't know what I was doing, and it was super scary. So for me to say, hey guys, jump into the gym 6 days a week without any programming or without any prior lead up to that, and also without having formed a habit around exercise, it would be essentially an impossible task, because you'd last maybe the first week, but further than that, if you haven't formed the habit around the gym and you don't feel comfortable in there, then you're not going to get in there and you'll be scared of the place. So forming habits around movement is just where you begin. So I encourage people to just start moving more incidentally throughout their day. So whether it's getting off the bus one stop earlier, taking the stairs instead of the lift, walking to the shops instead of driving, just getting moving more throughout the day. Another great tip is to, at work, just get up every hour and just move around. Go to the bathroom, go get a glass of water, make a cup of tea. Get moving more throughout the day. Further than that, I would encourage you to just start forming habits around exercise. And that doesn't mean getting into the gym. That means getting up in the morning and going for a walk. And maybe that walk is just around the block. Maybe it's one lap around the nearest oval. Maybe it's a walk to the end of the street and back. Whatever it is, getting into the habit and the rhythm of getting up and getting some movement in. Further than that, you can start a gym program, but tips to beginning your weight loss journey, I would just encourage you to begin moving more and to begin getting into the habit of getting up or doing it after work and just moving. It's as simple as that. Tip 4 is to set a small achievable goal. So I find that a lot of people, myself included, are very goal driven. And if you have something that you're working towards, it's a lot easier to stay on track than it is to just mindlessly go through the processes of a weight loss journey. So if you're just starting out, I would encourage you to not set a scale goal, not set a clothes goal, not set a measurements goal, not set a quantitative goal in terms of your progress, but rather a goal in terms of a commitment. So whether that's a commitment to 3 walks a week, or whether that's a commitment to eating healthier for 7 days in a row, or something small that you can set and that you can achieve. So once you've then gone through that process, you get to the end of that week or the end of the month or the end of whatever goal that you've set, and then you can set a new one. But by working towards that, and more so telling someone about that goal who's going to hold you accountable to that goal, you're going to be much more likely to stick to the process than you are without telling anyone about it. Tip 5, and it's something that I wish I did right at the very beginning of my journey, is to take a picture of yourself in your bra and undies or a bikini or a crop top and tights, and store it somewhere that only you can see it. Because there's a couple of reasons behind this. First of all, you'll take a picture of yourself in your bra and undies or your crop and your tights or whatever it is that you choose to take it in, and because you're committing to this journey, you'll actually look at the photo. And by looking at that photo, it's something that you haven't done for a long time, because if you're anything like me or anything like any of my clients, you don't like taking pictures of yourself. You've avoided photos for the last couple of months or years, and if you have been in a photo, you do things like try and stand behind people or try and make yourself look smaller by any means. So by taking a picture of yourself, you're actually being real with yourself, and you're realizing exactly where you are at the start of your journey, and you can use that instead of a deterrent to beginning. You can use that as your encouragement, because you don't want to be that version of you anymore, and that's exactly the person that you're trying to move away from. So by taking that photo, not only does it provide you with a starting point and it allows you to be able to go back and see how far you've come, it's actually a way of being really real with yourself and taking responsibility for where you are at now, and knowing that you will never go back to being that version of you. So there we have it. Those are my top 5 tips to starting your weight loss journey. If you would like more information or a more in-depth explanation of that, I've put a little ebook in the description link below, and all you've got to do is click on the link and you'll go through to a page, and then you just have to enter your email and it will send it straight out to you. I would encourage you to do so, because not only would you get the ebook that I've written, which is further detailed to this video in particular, but you'll also be added to my email list, which is where I send out daily information and daily tips and education around all things health, fitness, weight loss, mindset, holistic living, healthy living, all of the above. So I would encourage you to do so. Just click the link in the description box below. As always, if you've liked this video, please give it a like. It really supports my channel. If you have any questions, chuck them in the comments below. If you have any suggestions for future videos, please also chuck it in the comments box below. And as always, guys, health and good vibes. Thank you for watching. Kate Purtle.